Hello everyone, welcome to Definitely Not Mr. Sandman's second Let's Play Pokemon Emerald version. This Let's Play will be coinciding with our playthrough of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Duel Academy, and as before you have myself, Agoro,
and Eric's over here on the sidelines, and together we decided that Emerald would be the perfect place to start for a Pokemon journey, as my very first game I ever played was Pokemon Ruby,
and my first Pokemon game was Pokemon Sapphire.
So together, Emerald just seemed like the way to go as the mixture of the two, and honestly, the header for my favorite generation. And if I'm not mistaken, your second favorite generation.
Yes, Gen 3 I consider to be the best after Pokemon Platinum specifically.
And I consider Pokemon Platinum to be the second best after Hoenn. Not game-wise. Hoenn had a lot of things wrong with it, and there were, well, not necessarily wrong with it.
Too much water.
Too much water. But I love Sinnoh as well. But Hoenn is, honestly, probably mostly due to nostalgia, my favorite generation. Not to mention the birthplace of my favorite Pokemon that started my least favorite trend. The Firefighter starter.
So having said all that, we're going to dive right in, and I will be taking the helms for this game.
Now then.
Internal batteries run dry. We're playing this on emulator, so that's fine. For anyone who is following our other Let's Play, we have decided to record this after recording episode 4 of it, so we can make sure to have these start going out on the schedule that we have described. For those who don't know, it's that starting on Friday, April 2nd. We are going to be uploading at noon every day an episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Duel Academy, followed by an episode of Pokemon Emerald at 4. Or, that's Eastern Time. If you're Pacific, that would be 9 a.m. for Yu-Gi-Oh! And
1 p.m.
1 p.m. for
Pokemon.
Yes.
Now, the biggest question of all comes right in the beginning. What's going to be our starter?
See, I've given it a little thought. I know that you're going to want Torchic.
I'm very much going to want Torchic.
You know I would want Trico.
Yeah, neither of us want Mudkip as much.
So having said that, let's go with Mudkip. Because we will be playing Ruby and Sapphire on our own channels here in the near future. And you can guarantee that I will be using my Grass-type starter and he will be using Torchic. Having said that, I figured this would be the perfect time to knock out a Mudkip playthrough.
Being said, I will be sad the entire time because Torchic is the base form of my favorite Pokemon ever, because you can't really argue with a Blaziken. I mean, it's just so awesome.
Well, I have to acknowledge that
And
it
strong
will,
for its time.
it will in fact beat my favorite Pokemon in a battle almost every time, my favorite Pokemon being Leafeon.
I mean, it would beat my second favorite Pokemon in a battle 9 times out of 10 as well.
Hey, mine too. 3, 2, 1, Glaceon!
Then my third favorite could still lose to it.
My third favorite would knock it around.
Well, my third favorite being Gengar, you would imagine it would knock it around. But no, Blaziken has plenty of moves that can hit a ghost type pretty well. Not the least of which, thanks to newer generations, being a ghost type move, which effectively just completely disregards your need to fear any ghost types or psychic types.
My third favorite Pokemon being Generation 5's mythical Meloetta, a psychic type who can change its type mid-battle to correspond with its needs. I don't think I have much to fear.
You know, you're right. I can't even argue against it. You are right. I believe we're both of the male variety.
So as such,
Last I checked, betwixt thine mirror and thine face and thine beards growing on both face, I'm pretty sure with both males. I think we're Pretty good with that. Then just enough letters for our usual.
Since Gen 3 has everything capitalized, if I remember correctly,
I believe so.
we'll run with that. Sadly, I can't add the question mark that I have in Dual Academy,
Very sadly.
but I can get by. We are the Sandman.
Are we though? We are not.
As for team, I haven't quite decided what we should be using, though other than the starter, I do have one Pokemon that I definitely intend to get to live up to the name Sandman. I've decided that we're going to recruit a Pokemon from the desert region specifically. Now, from the beginning, it's going to be relatively weak on its own, but I know it evolves into a Pokemon that the two of us both deeply love. We will be catching a Trapinch.
Now, to go along with this, normally I would be strict on the type adversity of a team. That's probably not the right word.
Diversity.
Diversity, sorry. You caught me. But Hoenn also has one of my favorite, has many of my favorite Pokemon, really. But seeing as Gen 4 didn't exist yet, if we take out all of the Pokemon in Gen 4 that beat it out, which is all of Glaceon, then my fourth favorite Pokemon becomes my third favorite Pokemon, and I think that we should go for one. Because you can't really argue with a Salamence.
I am more than happy to recruit a Bagon from Meteor Falls.
It's gonna take a while,
It will.
but you can't really argue with a Salamence.
Anyhow, now we are through the opening section, and we are ready to start our journey off in the town.
Heartburn?
Yeah.
He
Bad
just finished practically half a pizza before recording this, so he's got a little bit of heartburn going on, and I can see it on his face every time he takes a pause here. So anytime he takes a pause, I'll try and fill in with what he's saying. But yeah, I just felt like it needed to be pointed out why he was pausing. He knows this game inside and out.
My apologies. Yeah, we're off to the town of Little Root.
You know how fun it's gonna be beating our father. We could just leave it there and it'll be fun. Beating our father without the type effectiveness of a Blaziken?
And beating our better older brother Slacking.
Right? Without the type effectiveness of a Blaziken. Huh. Honestly speaking, I haven't done that very often.
I don't plan to, but technically we could pick up a Makuhita to compensate.
We could, but why? We could get an Aeron.
We very much could get an Aeron.
I'm not saying we should. I don't want to pick everything on this team. But
You've picked one, I've picked two.
You're right. Aeron it is.
I enjoy three-stage evolution, so that's...
Honestly
A-okay.
speaking, if we wanted to, we could just do this entire game in pseudo-legendaries and starter. Because with Aeron and Larvitar,
Aeron's not a pseudo-legendary, though.
I mean, I guess that's fair. Beldum, however.
That's locked in the post-game, though.
You're right.
Otherwise, it would be a go-to. It's my favorite Pokemon from the Hoenn region.
It is definitely up there.
Only comparable to Trico. Yeah, only comparable to Trico. I'd say it's easily my favorite from the region.
For early game, just as an early game Pokemon, not as a final team thing, but I think we should get a Masquerena.
I can see that.
A lot of people would argue that Masquerena is probably not the best,
Just masquerade, by the way.
I don't normally use it, which is part of my want for using it now. I want to see how well we can do with it until we get a permanent replacement.
I haven't made decisions yet, but I'm also considering Slockoff. I'm trying to convince myself to not do what I would usually do and get a Ralts as my second Pokemon.
Ralts would normally be a good choice. The issue comes in training it, because we are no Wally.
The master who can catch a Pokemon that only knows Growl and still make it to the end of Victory Road.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, when he catches his Ralts, it's level 5, which leaves it 11 levels of knowing no other moves but Growl.
Sounds about right.
So yeah, that, pretty sure that proves that Wally is the true Pokemon Master.
Yeah, and we just stole that victory away from him.
Unfortunate indeed. And here comes May to tell us how bad of a person we are for trying to get an item off the ground.
I'm May, glad to meet you. I've said this before, but for those of you who may tune in for the Pokemon video but not the Yu-Gi-Oh videos, we intend to play mostly Mega Man Battle Network, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and perhaps some Legend of Zelda early on in this channel. However, if you have any requests or recommendations, feel free to voice them. We are open to requests and we'll attempt to respond to any messages. And assuming we remember, we will link our Twitters and personal channels, as well as possibly our Twitch pages, in the description of this video.
We would very much like to know what everyone would like to see, just because we'd like to, if nothing else, see where our interests overlap with the people watching. Obviously, if you're watching, your interests probably overlap in the form of Yu-Gi-Oh! And or Pokemon and or Mega Man. And everyone's interested in Legend of Zelda, whether they realize it or not. So, you know, it's like a discount interest book.
By the time these videos are up, I should have my Elgato here, which will allow me to capture other game systems like the Xbox 360, PlayStation 4, and Nintendo Switch, as well as the Wii U. So, all it's going to take is a request. No request will not be considered.
We'll definitely consider all of them. How quickly we get to them will depend in part on how many requests we get. And also, honestly speaking, how much we have on our plates at the time. The world is currently going crazy, as I'm sure everyone knows, so we do have to take time to take care of ourselves, but we'll be happy to hear your requests and see what we can do about it.
So, for our options, for those who may not be aware, we get to pick one of 3 Pokemon in the beginning, which is par for the course for any Pokemon game: a Grass type, a Fire type, and a Water type. Which Pokemon it is depends on which game you're playing, but in Ruby Sapphire, Emerald, Alpha Sapphire, and Omega Ruby, your choices are the Grass Pokemon, the Wood Gecko Trico,
your usual go-to,
the Fire type Pokemon, the Chick Pokemon Torchic,
my definite go-to,
and the one we'll be using for this playthrough, the Water type Mudfish Pokemon, Mudkip.
It's gonna be so weird not having a Blaziken by the end of this.
If you have not played a Pokemon game before, when a battle starts, you have the options to fight the Pokemon, use an item from your bag, switch Pokemon, or run from the battle if it's not a trainer battle. When you select to fight, you have one of 4 moves that the Pokemon can learn, which you will be able to somewhat customize over the course of the game as your Pokemon gets stronger.
We currently only have 2 because we just started, and every Pokemon starts out with 2. That's changed on later generations to 3, but you know,
they've also changed it to have better moves.
Yeah, kids these days. What a wonderful fight. It's growling at us.
And we're tackling it
We're
back.
smacking it in the face with our bodies. It's fine.
To run through our goals for this game, so anyone watching knows, we do fully intend to defeat the Elite Four and clear the game. Past that, we will at least run through each of the Battle Frontier facilities in the post-game, but I cannot guarantee we will complete them.
Yeah, I was never really all that good at those. And, honestly, that usually takes quite a bit of time.
So I can't guarantee we will complete our trainer card, because one of the things locked in there is, in fact, the Battle Frontier.
But we'll do as much as we can, logically speaking.
And we're at least going to show off the gimmicks of each facility.
Oh, definitely. Whether we complete it or not, the facilities are still great.
Yeah.
They still have a lot to offer, even now when there's, technically speaking, updated versions.
That being said, if you are interested in this game but have a 3DS, I would highly recommend that you pick up Alpha Sapphire Omega Ruby, which is just a more modern feel for these games.
Including but not limited to more Pokemon and Mega Evolution.
Now, for the sake of this Let's Play, we will be nicknaming every team member we have, and we have not planned out nicknames ahead of time. If you have a request, you've heard what Pokemon we're considering using on the team, feel free to drop them in the comments.
And
But-
feel free to drop teammate suggestions as well. If we like it more than something we already have planned out, well, we may
Plans
just go with it.
So,
Now, for Mudkip.
we have a male Mudkip. So,
If it were female, I'd say Kipslip. Honestly speaking, it's very difficult to come up with a nickname in general for a Mudkip as someone who doesn't usually use them.
see, I have basic names that I would use for each starter growing up of each type without being clever, which is if it's a fire type, I would name it Blaze. If it was a grass type, I'd name it Sprout. If it was a water type, I would name it Squirt.
Knowing what Mudkip turns into, and the fact that this is male, I vote we name it Bubbles.
You know? I can't disagree.
Especially knowing what
Wait,
Mega Mudkip looks
No.
like. I want Bubbles.
in honor of our other Let's Play working on it at the same time, we could name it Bubble Man. I'm not sure if it'll fit, but we can make it work.
Actually, it'll fit with one space left, I believe.
We can call it Bubbles for short.
Levo Nonio Bihindo. Alright, there we go. You and Bubble Man look very happy together. Alright, I believe, first off, after he finishes talking, I say we go directly into the settings
And change the
turn
text
the text speed.
Yeah, I've been meaning to do that.
Yep. That is a staple, step one in every Pokemon game.
Okay, he's trying to set me up with his daughter real quick, so we'll have to go deal with that small side block.
But that's okay. I like the space. Especially seeing as what our end goal in the tower is.
Yep, we are aiming for the sky and beyond. So now that we've been assigned our task of going and finding May, who is just up north a little ways and past the next town, we can finally wander out of town with our new Pokemon partner, Bubble Man.
And just briefly, normally I have a rule for myself. And it's not really a rule, it's a disdain for legendary Pokemon and mythic Pokemon in general. Normally, I wouldn't let myself use them at all, because I don't really see a point to it. But, seeing as we're playing these for the entertainment of other people, and to do things that we normally don't do, we are going to be using the legendaries, at least the box legendaries, which are the ones that are the mascots of the games.
Yes, we feel that it would be a great way to show off the differences in the game, because while we will not be playing all 3 Hoenn games on this channel, we plan to play the others on our respective channels, and for any games with split versions like that, Pokemon games, Mega Man Battle Network games, and the like, we intend to split it to where this channel receives a playthrough, and if it's something with 3 versions, this will receive the center playthrough. And then on our respective personal channels, we will record, whether individually or together, playthroughs of the other versions, so between all 3 of our channels, you have the ability to see everything that each version would have to offer. However, if you're there for just a single game, you don't have to sit through all of them, you can pick whichever one you like.
For games with only 2 versions, such as we've found a few games have, we will be doing one of the selected by the 2 of us, voted upon by the 2 of us and a few of our friends, for this channel from our other channels. For example, with Mega Man, I know being a major one, we've chosen our own specific games that we're going to do throughout those, because Mega Man splits around the time of Mega Man 3, and there are 2 different timelines.
He's referring to Mega Man Battle Network specifically, for anyone wondering.
Battle Network. Point being, we'll play our own respectively on our channels, and then on this channel we'll do a playthrough of what we consider to be the canon, or the most enjoyable. For this, I believe that means that when we hit Mega Man Battle Network 3, we'll be going with blue, correct?
I believe the order will be Mega Man Battle Network 1, 2, then we'll go to 3 blue, then if I remember correctly it's 4 Red Sun, 5 Team Proto Man, and 6
Gregar.
Psybeast Gregar.
Being said, all of those are going to be the same ones that are going to be on Agora's channel, and the other side of the timeline will be on my channel when the time comes around that I am able to actually get to and focus on playing through Mega Man Battle Network.
So we've made it to May on the north side of the second town in the game, and her dad gave her a Pokemon as a gift, so as such, she wants to battle.
Like everyone ever.
Now, normally I would have battled some wild Pokemon to increase the strength of my Pokemon first, but I figured for the sake of speed, I would just dive into the battle and see how it went. And if it goes poorly, I can take the time to level up. However, it doesn't seem like it's going to go that badly.
Especially from the fact that those first 2 hits did a pretty good amount.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting Trico to get a critical hit right there. Or right there.
Alright, well, that's unfortunate. Hello, Bubbles, are you okay?
Yeah, that feels like a sign from the game.
We picked the wrong starter. That's unfortunate. Good thing we're not doing a Nuzlocke.
That would be very, very poor.
Yeah.
For those who aren't watching our Yu-Gi-Oh videos, the way that we are recording these is, since we are starting this channel from the beginning, we, over the course of a 24-hour period, are recording 14 videos, 7 for each series that we are starting with. So if you leave comments or suggestions, they will not be addressed in a video until the 8th episode, at the earliest. However, we are willing to answer comments or tweets as soon as we see them.
Be it via the comments themselves, or via tweeting back, which, honestly, who doesn't like being talked to? Me, I don't. But still, feel free.
And one thing that may not make it into videos is if we feel we need to level up a specific Pokemon to have it on par with the team, or raise the level of our team as a whole, we will do that using wild Pokemon in between episodes, so you guys don't have to just sit there and watch that. However, we do not intend to cut out all the random encounters in the game.
Just like how in Duel Academy, we're cutting out our deck editing, but not all of our duels. Deck editing, if you know what you're doing, takes a while. If you know what you're doing and have a very, very limited pool to pull from, it takes even longer. So what we're doing is we're cutting out the deck editing and giving a basic rundown at the beginning of every episode after we edit. So this is essentially going to be the Pokemon version of that. We just don't want to take a ton of time that we could use to be more entertaining, to have random encounters.
If you disagree, we may make side videos related to the training.
Oh,
that
certainly.
is definitely something we can consider doing. It's just a matter of recording the training. However, if we do such, they likely will not be included in any playlist we might make for the series to make it easier for you to enjoy viewing.
Now, I would like to point out that that battle made it very obvious that the professor was trying to hook us up with his daughter, because she gave us 69 experience. And I feel like that just isn't a joke you put in a child's game.
Anyhow, having said that, this video is now roughly 28 minutes long, and we have cleared the first battle against our rival May. So having said that, I believe this is a great cutting off point for this first episode. I hope you enjoyed, have a wonderful night, and see you soon.
Adios, Doritos.